We all have a tendency to push the limits. If there's a line drawn somewhere, we like to just cross over it just a little bit. Um, think about it like speed limits. If the speed limit's 55 miles an hour, we like to go 57 or 58 miles an hour. If our mom says you can have two cookies, we like to say, well, maybe I'll just take three and just see if we can get just a little more. So we, as human beings, we kind of have a tendency to push the limits. That tendency was illustrated by a dog we had when we moved to Sioux Lookout. We got a dog, and so in our house, when you came in, there was an entry and there was a closet there where you hung your boots and or hung your coat and put your boots there. And then there was a laundry room that was a fairly large room. And so we thought, the dog can be in the house, but he needs to stay in that laundry room. So we'll just keep him in that laundry room. Well, there was one window in the laundry room that was high. It was up above a counter, and it was you couldn't really see much out of it because it was so high. But and he certainly couldn't see anything out of the window because he was down so low. Well, we were in the kitchen, in the dining room, the living room. He didn't like to be in the laundry room by himself, and so he wanted to come into the dining room, which was the next room. The door from the laundry room went into the dining room, and he wanted to come into the dining room. Well, we would have, no, you can't come in here. And so then he would stand just with his feet across the line between the two rooms. There was a doorway there, and there was a little metal strip on the flooring between the two rooms, and he liked to stand with his feet just over that line. And then we thought, well, that's kind of mean. Like he has to be in the laundry room, he can't see anything outside, and it would be okay if he comes in the dining room, but just in the dining room. We'll just let him come in when we're there. So we started letting him come in the dining room. Well, the dining room had low windows, went down just like a foot from the floor, so he could look out the windows there, and he was pretty happy there. He could be in the dining room with us. But his bed, there was a basket with some blankets in that was his bed, and that was out in the laundry room. Well, we thought he can sleep out in the laundry room. He can have his bed out there, but he can be in the dining room when we're there. Well, he started grabbing his bed and dragging it into the dining room. Well, we drag it back out. He would drag it back in. Finally, we decided, okay, he can have his bed in the dining room too. So he had his bed in the dining room. He would be in the dining room. And, well, then he wanted to come in the living room or into the kitchen. And again, there were little metal strips on the floor between the rooms. And he would stand just with his feet just over the edge of the metal strip. We'd then back up, and make him back up. And he just showed that tendency of wherever you draw the line, we want to take just a little more. And he didn't stay in the laundry room. We left him in the dining room, but then he wanted the living room. He wanted the kitchen. And we just have that tendency where if there's rules, we like to push the rules and just get a little more. But you know, there are rules that we just need to accept. That's the way they are, and they're not going to change. And we can live with them, and we can make ourselves miserable by looking at all the things we wish we could do, thinking about all the things that we're not allowed to do, or we can look at all the things we can do and be happy with what we can do and what we're allowed to do and not make ourselves unhappy by thinking about all the things we're not allowed to do.